ABCDEFGH is a cuboid, as we can see in the diagram. Also on the diagram, AB is 40, BC is 9, CG is 20, P is a point on HG. We can see P here, and it's on the line HG, such that HP to PG is 3 to 7. That's the ratio of the split. So let's deal with that. We know that side is going to be 40 centimeters long. If you do 3 plus 7, that's adding the parts of this ratio, we get 10. 40 divided by 10 is equal to 4. And this part here is 7 of those. So that makes that 28 centimeters. We know that AP is 25. That's this side of the triangle here. We want to work out the size of the angle APC, which is the angle marked in the diagram just here. If we had all three sides of the triangle, we could use the cosine rule. So let's think about the length of AC. That's in the base of the cuboid. And we have a side here which is 4 and a side here which is 9. And we know there's a right angle just there. So we can use Pythagoras' theorem. The square root of 40 squared plus 9 squared. So let's think about 40 squared plus 9 squared. That's 1,681. And let's just see, sorry, the square root of 1,681. Let's just see if that comes to a nice number. So we have square root 1681. And indeed, it is 41. So we know that this length is 41. Now let's think about the length of PC down there. We can see that's in the rectangle at the back of the cuboid, and we have 20 and 28 and a right angle just here. So once again, we can use Pythagoras. Square root of 20 squared plus 28 squared. So that would be the square root of, so let's calculate that. So we've got 20 squared plus 28 squared, which is 1184. Let's see if that comes to anything nice. So if we do the square root of my last answer, that's not such a nice number, 34.409. But we could just use root 1184 anyway and then be using an exact value. Or we could just use a few decimal places here. So we now know that this one is root 1184. And we want the size of this angle. So if we call this angle A, this side is A, and these sides are B and C. It doesn't really matter about the order there. And we can use the cosine rule, where the cosine of A would be equal to B squared plus C squared minus A squared divided by 2BC. So the cosine of the angle that we're trying to find is going to be B squared, and that's 25 squared, plus C squared, well that's going to be 1184, the square of this. Take away 41 squared, all divided by 2 times B, which is 25, times the square root of 1184. So we can calculate that and then work out the angle from that. So we have 25 squared, add 1184, take away 41 squared, and divide that by 2 times 25 times the square root of 1184, and that gives me 0.0743. And therefore the angle A is the inverse cosine of that. So shift cosine of my last answer gives me 85.7 degrees.